The Department of Foreign Affairs has set a Stage 2 alert for Egypt amid turmoil and fears of continued civil unrest in the Arab country that is a key gateway between the Mediterranean, Europe, and Asia. In Port Said, there are thousands of Filipino seamen. They pass through here. Crew changes are typical for merchant seamen, and the Philippine Embassy has issued warnings for them to avoid protests and large gatherings. Overall, the number of OFWs in Egypt are in the thousands. Some are with families. Most are employed by manpower agencies who work in merchant shipping and medical staff. There have been no reports of Filipinos being affected in the ongoing and at times violent clashes. On Monday, 50 people were killed when gunfire broke out near an officers' club of the military's Republican Guard, where the ousted Egyptian president is believed to be held. Both sides claim the gunfire started from the other side.
The people who were firing the most were the military. The police were also firing, but the military were firing more. We've been betrayed. I saw them with my own eyes.
Years of escalation and the violence persist as Egypt's Muslim Brotherhood has renewed calls for resistance versus troops and martyrdom attacks versus the military and new government who depose the unpopular but elected government of President Morsi.
This political dispute at all. We want to run our country for the sake of our people, for social justice, to meet their basic needs, education, housing, these kinds of issues that we need, and not a religious war between believers and unbelievers.
The economy is the key element, and policies that impose Sharia law have been known to have been in conflict with the Arab world's most open and tolerant secular states of Egypt. The military has announced the appointment of a deputy president and prime minister backing this, while also saying elections will be held in 6 months. Egypt's military's appointed president, former Supreme Court Justice Mansour, has announced that a timeline for amending the constitution and electing a new president and parliament is mid-February. Hardline Muslim Brotherhood members have refused to participate in the process. Some sectors fear Iraq-like sectarian violence may erupt. In the meantime, the appointment of economist Hazim al-Badwi as Prime Minister and opposition leader and Nobel Prize laureate Mohammed al-Baradei as Vice President has been generally welcomed by a majority of Egyptians and people in the Middle East. Arab states have pledged over $8 billion in aid to Egypt for it to rework its economy. In the meantime, the vast majority of Egyptians and those living in the country, 22 million of whom have signed petitions and took to the streets to oust the hardliners, wait to see what the next turn in the Egyptian saga will be. For Good Morning Boss, Mike Cohen for PTV News.